A journey I began 2 decades ago, when curiosity and cultures made me step out into the world, led me home to India after decades exploring the world. In a millennium where everyone speaks of the future, joy has come to me at home. I find that our joy lies in ancient knowledge. A 5,000-year-old knowledge lives on in all those who still practice the timeless way. Joy and serenity are the gifts I continue to receive from this ancient culture I was born into. Bringing true joy to those who seek it too is the next stage of my journey. What is true well-being? Here in India, it is all around me, hidden in plain sight, the ancient living here and now in the present, within our reach. Namaste, Sakhashree.
Namaste, Hari.
Thank you very much for taking the time. I am so happy to meet you.
Same here.
And in this wonderful place.
Oh yes, so beautiful.
What happened in between? I'm really curious to know what went into this journey of the creation of Sakhashree.
I came from a very loving family, and my father was in a profession where he was traveling because he was in the textile industry, and he traveled to many cities.
Oh, so you moved from place to place.
Yes. So we learned how to adapt to different cultures and different places very fast. Then I entered Master of Computer Applications, which is a very coveted course in the Delhi University. But if you remember, in 2000 was the IT recession. So that was the time my father told me that, Neeta, it is very, it's a very rare time when you are so free. So why don't you make a website on Rudraksh? So I made this website, which is the world's first website on Rudraksh. So along with developing my website, right, I started even, getting deeper into Rudraksh. For 5 years, from 2008 to 2012, I did intense tapasya. I lived a very sattvic life just to understand how the beads work, their position, how they change me as a person, what I was, what I become when I wear them correctly. In that process, the knowledge of the chakras were downloaded into me. And by 2012, my research, which I called RRST, was frozen. So this is how I'm continuing on this journey.
That's a fascinating journey. Very interesting. Let's start from the beginning. It's always a good place to start, right? I'm very interested in the thing that you handle, which is ChakraYog. As a person who's practiced yoga for some time, I'm broadly aware of what chakras are. But what is ChakraYog? What is unique about it? And what does it help in building for a person?
So first we start with the definition of yoga, right? As we know, you are also into yoga. That yoga is basically union with the source, right? Where we connect to our higher self. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, yoga is defined very beautifully. That yogasya chitta ritti nirodha. Yoga is restraining the modifications of the mind. So, ChakraYog is a path of the 7 chakras through which you can realize your complete potential. You can realize your higher self.
So for a person who's looking at their well-being, where does ChakraYog fit in? What exactly what capacity or capacities does ChakraYog actually give you?
See, ChakraYog is a complete system. And actually there are 8 chakras, but we commonly call them 7 chakras because one of them is chakra which we talk after the 7 chakras. It is, I can say, it's a complete religion on its own.
So you would say that it's a foundational thing. Once you do that, it is the foundational capacity that you have, which will make everything else that you do in life better. Is that one way to look at it?
So ChakraYog has got, lessons for every dimension of your life. And what I can say that all the lessons of life, they are divided in a very beautiful way into 7 dimensions through the laws of the chakras. And it actually hands-holds you till, you achieve moksha. So chakra is from the foundation till eternity.
Let's say that we say that there is a person who's looking to improve the quality of his life. That's all. But we know that all people in their 7 chakras will have possibly an imbalance somewhere.
Oh yes, many chakras will be imbalanced.
Many chakras will be imbalanced. Yeah. So when they come to you, for example, they know particular problem that they are this thing. So what would you suggest to them?
See, ChakraYog is a path that comes to people who are ready to be responsible for their life. When you stop blaming the world or the destiny for your problems, you come to ChakraYog. And once we know, we have many tools. We have tools of Rudraksha. We have tools of gemstones. We have tools of meditation. Everyone cannot do meditation easily at the first stance. So for them, they have these quick fixes of Rudraksh and gems. But the people who want to go deeper, they have to go in meditation at some point of their life.
Perfect. No, I think that's now become very clear. So, and I think that gives us a sense of what is it that the offering is. Now we know there are 7 chakras. So let's understand a little bit about each of those and what does it mean when you say that this is blocked or that is blocked, and some sense of what could be behind that. Okay. And the meditation portion we'll come to later, how to address it. But let's understand how to diagnose the situation.
Now the word chakra means wheel. Now these are wheels inside our body. They are actually concentrated circles of energy along the spine.
Okay.
And we have primarily 7 chakras from the base of the spine till the top of the head. So what happens is that every chakra governs certain endocrine glands, and it governs certain organs, and it governs certain dimensions of your life. So as I said earlier, the bottom 3 chakras are the karma part of you. The next chakras are the bhakti part of you. Next is the gyan part, and after that is the dhyan part. The first chakra is the foundation chakra or the root chakra. Now this chakra you can imagine like, it takes out luminous filaments and it connects you to the ground, to the earth.
So it actually roots you in a sense, it anchors you. Okay.
Yeah. So this carries the very purpose of human birth. The purpose of human birth is only one, and that is self-realization. It is realization of who you are actually. And this chakra carries the energy of support. That you have everything inside you to be supported by life. And the moment this dimension gets blocked, you start developing emotional problems. Then you start having the physical problems like your knees start hurting, your legs start hurting, you develop arthritis, piles.
Very interesting, very interesting. So that is your lowest chakra, the Muladhara chakra.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
So next chakra is the Swadhisthana chakra. We call it Sacral chakra. Now Swadhisthana means it is the seat of the self. This is where your identity resides. So this is where your, what you have come for to do in this world, your unique role play resides. And it is already destined what you are going to play role in this world. So this is the chakra where you have to honor yourself.
Perfect. All right. Okay, so let's move on.
Then we go to the third chakra. This is located on your navel, right? So this is the Manipur chakra, which is also called the solar plexus chakra. So this is the seat of the sun, and you know sun is the source of power to this universe, and this is the source of your power. So this Manipur chakra embodies your unique power over the world, your knowledge, your talents. And this chakra strives to make you independent. But what happens is when you go through life, a person starts living life with dependencies, with responsibilities. So the lessons of this chakra are all geared towards making you independent. So the next chakra is the heart chakra. Okay, it is the place where you realize love, trust, compassion, selflessness, forgiveness. Now this chakra is called Anahat. Anahat means that should not be hurt. It is the heart chakra which is actually connected to all your chakras. So in heart chakra there are lessons of trust. What happens when they come across situations where they are betrayed, right? People, I asked them, what did you learn? They said, I learned not to trust. Once you close your heart, you're closing the God inside you.
And now that it's all so interesting, I'm not going to let you go without talking to me about the other chakras as well. So let's keep going on to the other chakras.
We come to the next chakra, which is the Vishuddha chakra, which is of Jnana Yoga. Now, Vishuddha means in all directions. V means in all directions, Shuddha means pure. This chakra makes you completely pure. So, and this is the chakra of communication. This is where you communicate and where you listen. This is the only action of ours which happens in the here and now, in the present moment. You are distracted, you missed it out. So this is the chakra where we deeply understand the other. Now the next chakra is the Agnya chakra, the Gyan Chakshu or the third eye. This is the place of the pineal gland, because this is where you do sadhanas, you do dhyan, basically to dissolve the duality.
Dissolve the duality. That is me versus the rest of the world.
Rest of the world, okay, or good and bad, high and low. This is for me, this is not for me.
These judgments that we work with.
Right. You're not seeing things clearly with your
as they are.
eye. You're not seeing things as they are. We want to see as we want them to see. So here stubbornness blocks the chakra. Non-acceptance blocks the chakra.
Let's start on the last chakra.
Yeah. So the seventh chakra is called the crown chakra, like the crown of a king, right? And it is called the Sahasrar chakra, the 1,000-petaled lotus.
Oh, wonderful. The 1,000-petaled lotus. Okay.
This is where you achieve union with the source. Now, this chakra, basically it is the seat of the pituitary gland. It governs your central nervous system, right? It governs even your entire skeletal system. Now, this is the place where you realize unlimitedness, where you realize knowingness, where you realize that behind every happening in your life, there is a meaning. Actually, what happens is when you look at your life at a glance, right? You see, oh, this suffering made me this thing taught me this, I'm here because of this. And you start honoring whatever happened with you.
And this is very interesting because I find this, one of the outcomes of something like that is that you also start to learn to savor the good things that happen to you. You know, you understand that a lot of it is actually nice stuff. I mean, it might not feel that way in the simple, when it is happening, but you can sense that this is actually good, and I'm truly savoring the moment or savoring that what is happening to me.
And this is the chakra where optimism lies, where you start seeing that at least the glass is half full.
And maybe that is the point. Now I want to turn to one little thing which I left off, which is that when we started this whole thing, you said there are actually 8 chakras.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that 8th mysterious chakra.
So this is the chakra where the self lives through control. You know, all your fears and your pleasures are geared towards what you believe you are. and that is the self. So the lessons of this chakra are all about releasing control.
So in the last few minutes, we've almost like this full long journey of ourselves, in a sense, going from the Muladhara chakra right up to the top and now to that serious point below the left rib cage. Now for you, this is something that appears in front of you when a person comes to you, right? You almost scan the person and you diagnose. So can you tell us a little bit about, what that is, what that process is, the scanning and the diagnosis?
So what I do is I first ask him about his journey, about his life, and I ask him that where does he feel stuck in his life. So once he tells me his block, I take him to the past to know that from which time it was that the block was created. Many times the fears of instability are created in childhood, when they have seen lack of money or they have lived far away from parents. So the person starts taking unnecessary care of his body. So my job is to first see that from where their fears are coming from. I take them back there and I make them see their problem in a different light. I help you release the weakness, the inability, the selfishness, the fear. I help you release, and then you will realize your cup is already full. So I make you throw the mug to realize the cup is already full with your goodness.
Yeah. Now that's such a wonderful, even for me, just the mental model of release. It's a very powerful way of seeing it, right? Because you have more than you need, and a lot of that stuff that you don't need, let it go, is actually the way to think about this. And so let's now come to the solution part. So this has told you what to do, and then the solution that I'm expected to do is, one, certain things around Rudraksh and gems and meditation.
Yes.
What else?
So as per your chakras, I also suggest you to do the mudras of those chakras, to chant the mantras of those chakras. And one thing, Hari, which goes with every type of, guidance, we guide them about the diet, about what kind of food you should be eating. Because many people are eating food with non-awareness. So I tell them the importance of eating sattvic food, healthy food, of following a discipline of sleeping, waking up, exercising every day, pranayam. So we have to guide them.
So we finished the scanning, we finished the diagnosis, and we finished what needs to be done. And one of the elements in what you've done, what you said we should do, is how to use Rudraksh and gemstones. So let's get into that. What is Rudraksh and what are we talking about when we talk about Rudraksh and gemstones? And then how does it work?
So Rudraksh, they are fruits from trees, right? And they are very miraculous beads which find replete mention in our Puranas, in many ancient scriptures. And the biggest testimony is Lord Shiva himself wears Rudraksh. In our Puranas, they have mentioned that there are Rudraksh which have mukhis. Now mukhis means they have got lines on them. Now as per the mukhis, the ancient scriptures, they attribute certain properties to them. So we have Rudraksh 1 mukhi, 2 mukhi, 3 mukhi, till 21 mukhi, and even we are finding Rudraksh of more than 21. So what happens is every Rudraksh has got, a certain frequency and it works on a specific chakra. Now as per the chakra, you have to wear the Rudraksh. It has a certain orientation, a certain position. And that is the study which I call RRST.
And that includes physically which part of the body you should wear it and so on.
Yes. Or we combine them as bracelets, because hands are what connect you to the whole body. So I make people wear jewelry on the wrist or the upper arm or on the neck or on the waist.
Thank you very much once again for coming today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. My journey continues. Please join me on my next exploration.